All five of you, you know, in the United States, they're negotiating to help the financial sectors. Now, if Canada were to have to face a similar crisis, now I'd like to ask all of you around the table this question: do you think that we would have to set up a rescue plan that might resemble what the Americans are currently laying out?
Something, and that's prevent Mr. Harper from having a majority, because that would be terrible for the economy. We need to keep on supporting, he would just keep on supporting oil companies. If you look at the figures in his budget, you can really see almost $3 billion, whereas manufacturing companies, when I come back to your own minister's economic statement, he said most of them didn't even make profits. They weren't profitable, so they couldn't take advantage of tax cuts because they weren't making profits. So I think we need to completely change direction before something bad happens.
I'll ask the question again, Mr. Dion. If we were facing a similar crisis in the financial sector with Canadian banks, for example, would we have to put our nose to the grindstone like the Americans are to try and help the financial system out of the crisis? Is this a fair solution?
Mr. Bureau, you've noted, no doubt, that we've talked about a plan to act now within the first 30 days of a Liberal mandate with Canadian regulatory agencies such as the Superintendent of Finance, the Bank of Canada, and we'd protect savings and the RSPs of Canadians. We'd have an economic statement. We have to act within the 30 days. But to have that, you have to have a government which won't remain passive, which know that they're willing to act, despite the good sense that's needed.
That the policies of your government, Mr. Dion, led to major tax cuts for many big companies, and it contributed to the problem. And now we have Mr. Harper offering more tax cuts. It makes no sense. We really have to change the direction we're taking. We have to make sure that there is proper capitalization of all those financial institutions. Otherwise, we'll have a crisis at the level of personal finances. Right now, people are bearing the highest level of personal debt ever seen. There would have to be a limit on rates charged by credit card companies because people are getting ripped off. We think that that industry should be regulated so that we can avoid the kind of problems that are going on in the United States. We can't say everything's just fine.
What we have to do first is reassure the citizens of Canada that yes, there may be a crisis, but we are able to manage this crisis by taking a new direction for the economy. It's very important to establish regulation for financing companies. It's impossible to remain unregulated in the situations of speculation and greed and everything that we've seen happen in the U.S. And last but not least, we have to invest in our own economy in order to create jobs throughout Canada.
Mr. Harper, a comparable rescue plan, is that possible in Canada? Are you thinking about that?
I think it would be impossible to stay on the right track. We have acted from the outset of this crisis in the U.S. with the Bank of Canada and other government agencies, and everyone recognizes around the world that Canada's banking system is rock solid, and Canada's economy is solid, despite the slight challenges, the challenges that exist, but we're in a solid situation. And if we want to change this, we could follow the opposition parties, increase spending, increase taxes, create new taxes, go into deficit, and in the end, we'll have a recession. But that is not at all